Okay, so it has been another week or thereabout, and so where am I this week? Well, the biggest thing I think I've done in the past week is I picked up my tiger that I painted a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I mentioned it, I don't think I did, but after I had that interview, I was also meeting up with some friends down in Charlotte, and I had a block of somewhere around 5 or 6 hours, maybe just four, but a whole bunch of time where I had nothing to do. And there's also a place named Dish It Out that's not too far from where we meet up for dinner. So I went on ahead and went down there, and I spent some time painting it's supposed to be a birthday present for a friend of mine who very much likes tigers. So I got that. It took them about a week to fire it, and then it took me another week to get back to pick it up, but I think it turned out pretty well. Other than that, this past week on Friday, I did go out of town to visit with a friend. I thought about going to HoshiCon, but not too much because I remember I had such a rotten time there last year. But I had several friends who were going, and cons are always more fun if you have friends there, but I ultimately decided that since I did have a bad time last year, and I really ought to be saving money, and every time I go to a con I spend way more than I should have. I wasn't supposed to spend so much at Animazement. Anyway, so I decided not to go to HoshiCon, and instead I just kind of hung out here and spent some time cleaning my room. Not that it really shows all that much, but I did do some work on that. I did some analysis on my crystal cell that I got done, and I also did some on my windmill. That might have been 2 weeks ago, but anyway, it was pretty recent, so I went by recently and picked up another copper end cap, since my first prototype of the crystal cell didn't seem to work quite as well as I'd hoped, but it's a learning experience. I think there were one or two steps that I either missed or wasn't able to do right. I have a oven that I bake inside instead of having a surface where I can more easily monitor and manipulate things. So I think I might have baked out too much of the fluid. So I'm going to try it again on a stovetop in a cheap, super cheap thing of my own. No, I will not mess up anyone else's dishes. You can relax. Other than that, I'm still looking for work. I put in for work with the same place I used to work because they do have a sales season coming up if they will consider rehiring me. And since they are hiring, it's time that I ought to put in with other similar companies because they might decide they don't like me anymore. I mean, I did good work while I was there, and I certainly didn't do bad work. I I resigned. That was part of why I resigned, was because I didn't want to do a bad job. So part of me hopes that I'll be able to go back, and part of me hopes I'll be able to find a better company to work for, or maybe higher paying might be a more polite way to put that. But I mean, if I could find engineering, that would be best, but I'm not holding out for it. I've put in for maybe one or two engineering sales positions in the past week, but I'm really not expecting to get them. And I need to get a job soon, and so I'm just trying to find something. Still looking for work. Other than that, I guess I'm still playing some games and watching some anime, but I'm trying to keep myself busy and not waste my time. Having my goals up there usually does help. Even if I don't get them all done, I get some of them done. But that is how life has been going, and I've also done some grocery shopping, so maybe I won't have to go out to eat quite so much. Although food is still expensive. But yeah, there's a lot going on, and politics has been big. It's an election year, so of course I've been following that fairly closely. I was in the JSA back when I was in high school, so I've always had some political inclination, but I focused more on engineering for my career.